Welcome back to the new book releases. We're talking about the ones coming out the week of December 16th. And since I missed last week's, I have two that came out last week that I do want to mention, even though you've probably already heard of them now since they're already out. But I hope you find a new book that you want to pick up, and you'll stay tuned for future new book releases and anticipated releases and just future thoughts and videos, and bear with me maybe sounding funny through this. Let's go ahead and get started with last week's releases. In Romantasy, last week we had A Monsoon Rising by Thea Guzman come out. This is the second in the Hurricane Wars trilogy? I used to know. As we are continuing with Taliesin and Ulrich, which one is kind of like a warrior of light, as literally she controls light magic, and the other one is with the Shadow Empire, and he controls darkness and shadows. And it's a forbidden romance, and enemies to lovers, opposites attract. Anyway, this one continues on into their aspects after what happened in the forced arrangements of the end of the last book, and we're seeing into maybe more aspects of how all of this got started, even though we were given some reasons in the first one. But is that really why the war started and the Empire started deciding they had to conquer everybody? Our other one for last week is a YA horror thriller sorts. What the Woods Took by Courtney Gould. Devin Green wakes in the middle of the night to find two men in her bedroom. No stranger to fight, she calls her foster parents for help, but it soon becomes clear that this is a planned abduction, one but everyone but Devin signed up for. She's shoved in a van and driven deep into the woods, where she's dropped off with a cohort of equally confused teens. Finally, two camp counselors inform them that they've been enrolled in an experimental therapy program. If the campers can learn to change their self-destructive ways and survive a 50 days hike through the wilderness, they'll come out the other side as better versions of themselves. And when the campers wake to find both counselors missing, therapy becomes the least of their problems. We'll move into this week's releases with another YA. Possibly. I don't know. I'll have to see what people say about it to see if it falls into the YA or the new adult, because it is supposed to be slightly romance and vampires. Carolina Fuentes wants to join her family in hunting the bloodthirsty vampiros that plague her pueblo. Her father, however, wishes her to marry her off to a husband of his choosing, someone who will take her away from danger. Most fathers. Determined to prove she'd make a better slayer than wife, Carolina vows to take down a monster herself, but when she runs into un vampiro, who is somehow extremely attractive and kind, her plan crumbles. And I do believe it's going to be multi-POV between her and her male attractive counterpart, who they both want to take down the vampires. Then in Romantasy, we have North is the Night by Emily Rath. In the Finnish wilderness, more than wolves roam the dark forest. How do you pronounce with double eyes? And Aina? Summer's fading light is a harbinger of unwelcome change. Land-hungry Swedes venture north, threatening the peace. A zealous Christian priest denounces the old ways, and young women have begun to disappear. Siri vows to protect Aina from danger, but even Siri cannot stop the death goddess from dragging her friend to Tulina, a mythical underworld. Determined to save Aina, Siri braves a dangerous journey north to seek the greatest shaman of legend, the only person to venture into the realm of death and return alive. I'm sorry that I mispronounced both of the main characters' names. Moving into fantasy graphic novel horror. What was this originally? This was something else, and then it's being formatted into the graphic novel form. Cult of the Lamb, Volume 1, The First Verse by Alex Packendale and illustrated by Troy Little. It says, in partnership with Devolver Digital and Massive Monster, Oni Press proudly presents Cult of the Lamb, The First Verse, the hugely anticipated first official graphic novel exploration into the sprawling cosmology of the million-selling, multiple BAFTA award-nominated video game phenomenon. Oh, it was video game. That's right. In a land pervaded by a cruelty and evil, the most innocent among us, young lamb was selected to become a noble sacrifice. Their death would be the magical rite that would forever seal the darkest of the old gods out of the realm and usher in a new age of bounty. So Lamb died. but then they made a deal of their own. Our fiction this week, Definitely Better Now by Ava Robinson. The very last person anyone should worry about is Emma. Yes, hi, she's an alcoholic, but she's officially been sober for 1 year. That's 12 months of better health, 52 whole weeks of focusing on nothing but her 9-to-5 office job, group meetings, and avoiding the kind of bad decisions that previously left her awash in shame and regret. It's also been 365 days of not dating, and with her new dating profile, Emma, 26 of New York, is ready to put herself back out there. Except, was dating always this complicated? Those are all the ones I have for you this week. If you know of anything else coming out, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. And if there was one I didn't mention that you want to let people know about, feel free to drop it in the comments as well. Maybe you were able to find a new one to put on your TBR, and hopefully you enjoyed this one. You'll come back for more future ones, and I'll see you in the next one.